No. To answer your question, though, what we did start talking about was the basics of classroom delivery and organisation. So I asked the teacher, "Do you have a visual timetable?" And she said, "Yes, I do." And I said,
Does
"Is
she
that for the
use it
whole
though?
class?" Well, she does use it. I said, "Is that for the whole class or is that for this child?" And she said, "It's the whole class." So I said, one of the things you could do is to create a visual timetable solely for this child. And, then I sort of reinforced some of the good practices I've seen, such as a beginning and end box that some teachers have used. So the child takes the symbol off the visual timetable, puts it in the beginning box, and they know that that's what they're doing. And when they finish the task, they put it in the end box, and then they get the next symbol. So she said that that was something she could do. Also talked about, the TEACCH approach and using elements of that, such as creating a distraction-free workspace for a child. Some children, diagnosed or not, do like that sort of distraction-free, almost putting some cupboard shelves around a desk so that they can focus in on what the activity is. So she said that was something she could do. And then talking about the play, the child predominantly just liked running a train down its tracks. And so we spoke about what the child actually does. And I think that all the child does is just run the train around the track repetitively. So I said, there's a chance there that this child is enjoying the sensory experiences associated with the train going on the track rather than it being a play-based activity. In other words, it didn't sound like the child was using imagination and creating a make-believe world. From what she was telling me, I might be wrong, but it sounded more like it was repetitive actions. So we started to look at what we could do to insert cause and effect so that the child might have to then start thinking, okay, if I do this and that happens. So, maybe breaking the track and then seeing if the child can work with the TA or the teacher to reconstruct the track. Okay. Or starting to insert other actions into it so that the child is moving from repetitive action into problem solving actions, which again is all to do with cause and effect.